Hello viewers, it's SuperGT here. Welcome to some more Forza online gameplay. What else would it be? As we go into some B-Class action around Road Atlanta, I'm driving the Lexus SC300. I thought I'd tune up a couple of different cars for this class. Now B-Class is really underrated, I think. After doing a couple of races in the class, I really do think very highly of it. I think it's got a good mix of decent speed, but at the same time there's controllability, so you can have close racing. I think the faster the cars you go, the harder it is to race very closely. So in, let's say, P class and X class, it's very hard to have a very proper close race. But this kind of class, it is actually very close, and we are going to see one of those right here. I'm going to be under pressure from a Ford Cobra in just a moment as we go into the chicane at the end of the lap. A very important chicane coming up here. This is where a lot of time can be won and lost. It's also one of the best overtaking opportunities on the lap, and I go slightly too drifty on the exit, but this car, tuned by Omerta 4204, I'll say that again, Omerta 4204, he watches the videos and this tune is very good, so well done for tuning this one up like this. It's very grippy, very stable around the turns, and that lets you have some confidence coming out of the turns. You can get on the throttle very early without fear of it drifting around too much. Obviously I did at the chicane, but I was a little bit too eager to get away. So that is who did the tune, Omerta 4204. I'll put the name in the description in case you want to download it as well. And you've got yourself a very good B-Class car here. So this is where the pressure begins to mount. Now pressure is something that most people can't seem to handle in this game, but I like to think of it like this. The guy is there, and I like to think that he's going to be a clean racer. I know there aren't many in Forza, but we can hope that this guy, we can trust him hopefully not to go flying into the back of me and wipe me out. So with that in mind, I now can hit my braking points, hit my turning in points, and then hopefully I should be able to keep him behind. The most clean drivers won't barge their way past as long as you're fair with how you defend. And normally the defensive rule is that you only make one move per straight. So if you move across to defend, that's it. You can't go swerving across the track to try and block someone. That is very much frowned upon anyone who knows racing, I guess. But then again, not many people in Forza do know how to properly race and will just simply swerve across the track 4,000 times to make sure you don't come past. But here is some pressure, so what I'm going to do is move to the left hand side to protect the inside for the chicane very early coming out of that turn. But I know where the danger is, and that was on the inside, and then I'm going to cover him off by keeping in the centre of the circuit. Now you could call that swerving, but that's not really swerving. You move to the left hand side, and then just as the corner comes, he has conceded the position. You both move to the racing line as far as you can. Obviously you leave him the car width on the outside, but that is the fastest way for both of you to get around the turn, for you at least to move over slightly. But then at the end of the race, lap 5 of 5, he was still very close, but that one defensive move pretty much sealed the fate of the race, and I finished second in the end. So had he gone past there, I might not have been able to get back past, because I don't think that this car would have quite had the power. But we're going to move on to some racing around Bathurst. So what I'm going to do here is move off to the side without making a mockery of myself. Just about do it onto the grass, and we can watch the carnage unfold. There it goes as we go into turn 1. This is probably one of the worst turns in the game for carnage, I reckon. So we're going to come back past a couple of the guys here who fell victim to the carnage. So I've gained a couple of positions. Now this car is the Infiniti IPLG Coupe. Now again, as I said in the previous race, I kind of just trying out a load of different cars here. I kind of just went with what it recommended me. So the first tab on the buy cars tab. Actually, hold on a second. We're just going to get totally wrecked here. Smashed into the wall. So our good start, or gaining a couple of positions back there after turn 1, has been undone. We've gone back to 16th around the outside of Honda S2000. Now let's see if we can do this move. And actually that's kind of testament to how good this car is. Look at that guy taking the racing line in the trees over the wall. Now that is very interesting, and I've not seen that one done before. But as I was saying about the tune of this car, So this tune is by DTM Lionel E46. I follow this guy. He makes a lot of very good tunes. He's actually a very fast driver as well. One of the very best in the game. I'm going to have to slow down here to avoid these guys who have had a coming together. Honda S2000 comes out of nowhere and sideswipes me, but we're both okay. So I'm just going to let him go through there. Probably not going to be able to go around the outside of him for the second time. Now this is a really tricky section here. And that guy's going to get punted. The Rolls Royce gets smashed into the wall. Unlucky for him. And I get tapped from behind coming down the very steep section here. The Lotus is ever so slightly offline. And I go into the back of him. Not sure where he was going. But luckily he doesn't spin round. So we can both continue. Going through here. He grazes the wall on the entry. And he goes off to the left. So I'm up the inside. Almost go into that wall. Literally 1 millimetre away from grazing that wall. But we are through in 10th. Top 10 position. So be interesting to see what we can do with a lap and a quarter to go from here to the end. So this kind of shows the speed of this car. This car's got 8 rated acceleration, which is pretty good for B class, and it's very stable around the turns. It's just an all-round good car. It's what I would really like from a car in B class. Decent power, but at the same time very stable and easy to drive. You can't really ask for too much more than that. The main downside, I guess, is the brakes. Not absolutely amazing, but then again not too bad at the same time. But I do have ABS off, which does help. So coming through the final turn, we've gone up into 8th position. We've got another slow car here. Are we going to get another position? Yes, we are. Move up to the inside. It's the Acura Integra, I believe. And up the inside into 7th. This guy's just going to drive very wide, and I'm up into my favourite position of 6th as we go into the long second straight here at Bathurst. This guy's going to get into my slipstream. Is he going to go for a wild lunge into turn 2, or is he going to wipe me out, or is he going to brake in time and just follow me round? Probably unlikely, but this is Forza, so let's see. Coming into turn 2, he doesn't ram me. Wow, I'm actually really surprised, but hopefully that does continue as a very good trend for the rest of the lap. Coming up into the mountain section of Bathurst, really important to ride the walls as much as possible. The inside of this turn is really important as well. There's really good camber on the inside there. Does hook you round, and you can take this turn here, get the car turned in early, maybe a lift of the throttle, and push yourself out to the outside wall. This one here, it kind of dips down. You can just let off the throttle ever so slightly, and the car turns in very nicely as you dip down there. This one, turn in on the top of the crest and head towards the apex early, and you should be able to get that one quite nicely. Now this section here just requires utter bravery and precision, as close to the walls as possible. Turn in early for this one, as the crest will kind of slow down your turn as you go down the hill there. Now I'm stuck behind this massive land boat. Look at the size of this thing, blocking the entire road, and there's no way past. And I just grazed him. I was looking for the cutback, but it wasn't quite there. I guess that's an advantage of having an aircraft carrier as a car. You can just block the entire circuit, and there's nothing anyone can do about that. So coming up the back straight, I'm going to rely on a big mistake from this guy, I think. But let's see how he handles the chicane, the chase chicane at the end of the lap. That'll be very interesting to see. It might give me an opportunity into the final turn in just a moment. On the brakes, I'm actually quite a lot closer than I was, so the brakes are a lot better than his car. But yes, he is through just about okay, and it looks like I'm not going to be able to gain on him before the end of the race, which is only one corner away. On the brakes though, you can see I did say this car's brakes aren't amazing, but they're not bad at the same time, gaining on this guy by quite a lot. So we're going to finish in my favourite position here, and that was a very satisfactory race, given that I let everyone go at the start and then crashed again on turn 2, so not too bad. Now a quick bonus clip. Now it's not very often that ghosting saves me in this game. Normally I'm getting turn 10'd all over the place, especially around Rio. But watch this, going straight through these guys. Thank you very much. 7th to 2nd in about 1 second. That's how ghosting should work, and that helped me to maximum effect there. So that is going to be the end of the video, guys. I've been driving the Lexus SC300, the Infiniti IPLG Coupe. I'll leave the tunes in the description for you. I hope you have enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe for more like this. Hit that like button, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.